Hey David, I'd like to welcome you to Web App Development Assessment 1 Concept Design. For this task, I have chosen the Pokemon API that was sort of provided in the Module 1 extra resources. I used to play Pokemon back in the day when Game Boys were a thing. I was a big fan. So yeah, I've decided to create sort of a Pokedex. Probably a common sort of thing to do with, that sort of API data, but this is my take on it anyway. So with my initial concept thoughts and process, I knew I wanted to display the data within an actual Pokedex and sort of make the buttons of the Pokedex function. So the user, sort of feels like they're playing around with one and using one. So I've just gone and found a image, or it's a PNG file of a actual Pokedex, and then sort of built frames and edited it all and put everything all around it there. So to start off though, I will kick off and just hit the page refresh and show you what it does. And there is a splash page there, and it's just a Pokeball blue screen, sort of like the Pokeball's powering on, the Pokedex powering on, and it will bring you to a search bar function, which is what fetches data from the API using Pokemon name. Before I sort of start using the function, I'll just show you up here in the menu too. I've sort of put this in, followed along with class with this sort of stuff, customize it all to my own. And then, cool little bio. I've chucked in the link to the API. And then I chucked this in here just for any users. If you're not too familiar with Pokemon or anything like that and you still want to be able to use it, there's a list of names, because the actual Pokedex won't display any Pokemon unless they're within the database, obviously, and the spelling is correct. But I'll just sort of show you how it all works. And so I'll just pick a Pokemon from here anyway, and I'll just go with Needle, and we'll go back to the actual Pokedex in here and type in Needle and hit search. Okay, well that's good because I was going to show you this anyway. So I've put in here too, so if there's any errors with the fetch function not actually being able to find the Pokemon, or the spelling is incorrect, it'll catch that error and it'll bring you to this sort of page here, and it will tell the user that there was a problem with it and that the Pokemon can't be found. And then from there too, I've got a button down here which is the return to main menu button. So again, sort of within the Pokedex there, and it'll bring you back to the main page. And we'll just try again, and that if nothing's typed in, I'll chuck that as well. We'll go here, and I'll just pick something that's already been used when I was sort of building this. So it'll bring you to this page, which is sort of just the equivalent of the list page of what we've done in class. And so the first bit of information that I've got selected is the image. So it retrieves the image and it'll display it up there. And it's all HTML code that I generated in the JavaScript. And then I've got the Pokemon name, again through the API. And then I sort of went a few layers into the API, and I found the type of Pokemon, and then it's got the weight as well. There were a few others I wanted to chuck in, but I had some issues just trying to shrink this, like my font down here. This is at 10 pixels and I couldn't get it any smaller to fit any more in, sadly. But yeah, sort of that's the main functionality of the component anyway. And again, there's there's hundreds of Pokemon here, that you can sort of look through, and this will bring it all back, and it'll just show you the same sort of information on all of these Pokemon, which is pretty cool. And then so from here, one other thing I did want to show you, I'll just show you in the console log, just in case there's any problems that you're having there, and I'll just clear the console and just show you how it all runs there. So there's a splash page, and then after the set timeout function runs down, it brings you and displays the main page. And then from here again, when you search it, there's the data that it's been retrieved from the API, and then from that it will bring you to the list page where the JavaScript generated the HTML and displayed it on that page. And I did find that the JavaScript for this error code, because when I was searching for stuff on the database, it wasn't there, or I misspelt things like I just have, it would throw a lot of sort of errors at me, saying that it can't be found. So now I've just got the JavaScript to catch that, and it knows that it is an error, and it will bring you to the page that displays that, so that the user does know that, you know, there is a problem, and it just doesn't just, you know, you click and nothing happens sort of thing. So a little bit more playing around to get that sorted out, but I think, you know, definitely worth it. I had some fun playing around with this stuff, mate, anyway, and I definitely need the more practice with JavaScript, the better for me, because I find it kind of tough. But thanks, I'll see you in, thanks for watching anyway, mate, and I'll catch you in class through the week. Righto, see ya.